Budget Fam, it's Jordan from Jordan Budgets. Today we are doing an unstuffing video of the binders here. So we are not completely unstuffing everything. It's more of a consolidation. So we are going to be taking out some of the smaller bills and replacing them with larger bills that are over here. And we will also be taking out some of the money and moving it over to the bank and putting in some of these placeholders. So this money is not real money. This is just placeholder money just to keep some of the cash out of my house and keep it secure in a savings account. So when I put money from the different categories into the savings account, what I do is I put this placeholder money in that envelope. So when I see that $3,000 or whatever sitting in the bank, I know that that money has a purpose. I'm not tempted to spend it because it has a placeholder. It belongs somewhere in my envelopes. This is something I started new this year as my income has grown. I'm absolutely loving this way. I did just explain basically what I'm doing, but if you want a full video of how I'm using both the bank and cash, I would be happy to do that. Because this is new for me and it has been working. I'm happy to say that. I do also just want to explain that the money over here has been taken from the bills binder. So let's just explain that really quickly because I know this point confuses people because it's just a little different, but it's the system that works for me. So all through the month, I save all of my bills. Every single category of bill that I have is saved in this money binder. And it's to pay bills the next month. So it's January. I've been saving all of January for February's bills. The only account that I don't save in here that is a bill is my rent. The only reason rent is not in my binder here is because when I get paid from YouTube at the end of the month, I go ahead and pay that bill immediately. My rent is about $1,000. To me, it makes sense just to pay that all at once when that special check comes in. It makes sense for me to go ahead and pay that bill about a week early sometimes, but before I'm tempted to spend the money, but also that leaves me not sitting in the house with an extra $1,000 just sitting in these categories. I used to do that, but now that I'm on YouTube and bills have gone up, I just don't feel as comfortable having that much cash. But I am saying all of that to say the step that kind of confuses people is, yes, around this time at the end of the month, I do take out all of my bills money except for a couple categories. We'll talk about it. But I take out all of that money and I bring it to the bank. What we're doing here today is instead of me taking these 50s, 20s, and 10s to the bank like I would normally do, we are going to get out, say, some of these 5s and 1s, and we will be bringing that to the bank. So what we're doing today is really just getting rid of some of those smaller bills and depositing things into the bank that way instead of making this two separate processes. Did that make sense? If it did not, I'm so sorry. So we are going to start with the bills binder because there is one category I need to unstuff, but just so that you guys know, the only categories that will be staying is I didn't mess with Mother's Helper because Mother's Helper is something I pay every single week. I pay my sister-in-law as she helps me out with my son, so it wouldn't make sense to pay her all at once because something could happen throughout the month and she not be available. You know what I'm saying? So this money will stay here. It's kind of like a rolling account. All of the rest of them get pulled, put in the bank, and then I pay all of my bills with my card or online. The only accounts that also stay are allowance because I do pay my sons $1 every single night that they do their chores. So this money just stays in here. I pay them a little bit at a time as they earn that money. 1 month ahead is staying in here, but let's count this money and get some of this money to the bank and put in some placeholder money instead. 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100. So let's get a 100 placeholder. 20, 40, 60, 80, 200. 20, 40, 60, 80, 300. See what I'm doing here? This makes so much sense, right? So now we have 50, 60, 70, 80. Let's go ahead and take out some 20s. So we will put the 80 in. 20, 40, 60, 80. So we now have $380. We are consolidating those bills and putting some of the money into the savings account. I like to do this maybe every other month or so just to consolidate some of those smaller bills as well as get some money over to the savings account. So we are going to be doing that and just going through all of our binders. That was our bills binder. This is our self-care and our homeschool binder. We are going to leave some of these categories alone, like movies has 30, dine-in probably has 30. We're going to leave that alone and spend that soon. This is not money that I would put into the savings account. Like, I would not get a placeholder for this because when it's time for me to go thrifting, for example, I don't want a placeholder because that money is in my savings. So there are some categories that I would not put a placeholder in, and then some of our longer term savings and things are spots where I would use the placeholder. 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, 76, 77, 78. Let's go ahead and put 80 in. I know that I'm basically taking from my bills if I put extra money in, so we don't want to do this too much. But just to keep things simple on us, let's go ahead and say 20, 40, 60, 80, and just get rid of the 18 here. 70, 71. So let's put a 50 here. That is for shopping on Etsy. Some of my packages have started to arrive from Etsy. I'm so excited. So maybe this weekend we will do a little haul on what I bought from Etsy and what I bought myself for clothes when I spent this purchases money as well. I was sick very recently and I went on kind of a shopping spree. It was very much needed, but I did a lot of shopping just from my phone and from my computer those few days where I was really sick. Here we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 110. I have a hair appointment tomorrow, and so I will be getting a haircut in color. I would not put a placeholder in that because if I put the placeholder, that means the money is in my savings. I want to keep this category cash so I can very easily grab it and go get my hair done. 20, 30, 35, 40, 45. Let's get rid of the 10 and 2 of the 5s and grab a 20. Okay, I remember this 100 envelope challenge is basically why I'm doing this unstuffing, because I know it has a ton of ones in it that I would love to get rid of. This is a long-term savings. This is for a car eventually at the end of the year or whenever I need it. Or if my car keeps working just fine, then I will put this money aside for a house down payment eventually. So this we can put placeholder money and it's not going to mess us up. So let's go ahead and take one of these 100s. That was 120, 40, 60, 80, 90, 200, 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So we can get rid of all of this. So we can get rid of all of that and just grab a couple of 20s. So we have $240 in the 100 envelope savings challenge. Curriculum, let's see what we have here because it looks pretty stuffed. 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Field trips, so we have moved out of self-care categories and this is homeschool categories. I will be homeschooling both of my boys this coming April. No, what am I talking about? This coming August. So I do have a homeschooler right now. Right now we're just kind of playing it by ear. I don't have this year super figured out as far as like the budget goes with homeschooling. So we did trade out $50, put a 50 in here. I feel like I have things a bit more figured out now that I've been homeschooling for a few months. I think that my categories like curriculum, field trip, co-ops, and online schooling, I feel like those are pretty much all of the categories that I have and need. It did take me a little while to figure that out, but now I do feel like I have it figured out and I'm very excited to homeschool both the boys. I'm excited to have this budget together too so that when both the boys are homeschooling, I kind of know what budget I'm working with and I'll know how much I have saved. I'll know about how much I need for different things, all of that. So co-ops, definitely my most expensive category for homeschooling. We have 50, 2, 4, 6, 8, 90, 95, 100. So we're gonna trade out 100 and we will put a placeholder into this one because this can go into savings. because it's more of a long-term goal. We're definitely gonna run out of 100 placeholders. Okay, online, there's just a couple of things I pay for online for my boys' homeschooling. One of them is their science curriculum, and the other one is just a reading app, basically. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So let's take all of this out and put that 20 in there. Okay, that is 2 of the binders. What we have left is our short-term and our long-term savings. So let's go ahead with our short-term, because I think there's gonna be a little less in here. For car insurance, we already have $100 in the savings account for that. Then we have 50, 100, and 20. Let's go ahead and put this placeholder in here. So we have $220. I want to say my car insurance is $280 every 6 months. I will be paying it at the end of February, so it's coming up soon, and I need to do a little more work on this. Some of you have been asking what car insurance I have that is so cheap. I don't know that I would recommend it if you care at all about your insurance coverage or your vehicle. I am not even going to say my current car insurance brand because I don't know that I would recommend it. I also think it's specific to Mississippi. It's not a nationwide coverage or anything like that. But yes, my coverage is very, very cheap. I will tell you though that the car insurance that I have that is specific to Mississippi is not one that is highly recommended, so I don't even want to put it out there as if I recommend it, you know? Car maintenance has 20, 40, 50, 55, 60, 61, so 50, 60, 61 for car maintenance. At the end of February, I'm making another trip to Nashville, so I will have another car maintenance, car checkup at that point. At the very minimum, I'm getting an oil change, so I know I will need that money for that. My boys are getting their haircuts this week. Actually, tomorrow. We're all getting haircuts tomorrow. I guess I'll go ahead, why not? I'll go ahead and put 20 and a 10 to replace this 10, 20, 25, 30. Their haircuts are exactly $30. That includes their haircut and the tips for both of them. So it's pretty affordable. Sick days, I like to have $20 or $30 in here. This is just to cover those extra expenses for when you're sick. It is not to cover anything medical. It's just like fast food or something special for the kids so they feel better. So we have $15 in here. I definitely need to stuff more in here very soon to get that bulked up. Winter vacation, I know a lot of this is already in the bank, so I don't know that there's much else we can do. Let's see. We have 500, 600, 750. I'm out of 100 placeholders, so we're just gonna have to leave this money in here. I am purchasing the Airbnb for us to stay at for our Nashville trip this week, so this money may all be pulled out of savings and out of here pretty soon, but for now we will let it sit here. I don't think I've ever mentioned too, I don't use any placeholders that are less than $100. So I don't use placeholders for 50s or 20s or anything less than 100 just because I don't want to accidentally confuse myself. So if you ever see a 100 in my envelopes, that means that it is placeholder money. It's not real money. It is money that is sitting in the savings account. I just thought I would mention that in case you're ever confused on if I have any pretend money that's like, if any of this is ever fake. All of my money is real money except for the $100 bills that have the writing all over them. So 20, 30, 40, 50. So we will put 50 into pets. I'm actually adding a pet category into my bills for starting in February. This is more fun money, like we want bedding for them or the boys want to pick them out some kind of special like chew sticks or something that they sell at the pet store. And then our bills pets category will cover things like vet bills and like those more expensive purchases that come around. For celebrating people's birthdays, buying presents, that kind of thing, we have 50, 60, 70, 80, 85. So let's get rid of, let's just do it this way and get 20s, 2, 4, 6, $80, so $85 in birthday. Picture day, this is to take pictures with my kids. We don't have any professional pictures done yet, and I would like to make that a priority this year. So we have 10, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Let's go ahead and round that up to 30, just so we can get rid of some of these smaller bills. $30 for picture day. How much are professional pictures? Does anybody know? I'm shooting for like 150, but honestly, oh, I guess I would need clothes for us too. It may be expensive. 50, 60, 70, 80, $90. So we're just gonna take out the 10s and put a 20 there. That is for sports. I don't even think I said for sports. This is to sign my son up for baseball, which I'm doing today. So this money is going to be disappearing very, very soon. Okay, last binder. If you're making it with me, thank you. Hello. Thanks for sticking around. Moving should already have a placeholder. Let's see. Yes. What am I talking about? Moving definitely has a placeholder for $1,000. We have 50, 100, 50, 200, 50, 300. So we have 1,300 here in moving. I need to get more placeholders. I do order these placeholders from Hands and Bands. She's here on YouTube and on Etsy. I absolutely adore her. I need to order more of these placeholders from her. Yearly memberships. Hopefully we can consolidate some of this. 20, 40, 60, 80. Nope. No, there's no way. We could put a 50 in there, but that's just gonna make counting difficult for me, so let's not do that to ourselves. New car has $500 in the bank, so we're not gonna be able to consolidate any of these 50s because we are out of the 100s. 20, 40, 60, 80, $100 in 20s. So let's get some of these 50s. 600, 750. 750 for new car. Back to school, if I can figure out how to open this. Back to school has 10, 20, 25, 26, 27, $28. I know this is gonna throw off our tracker, but just because, let's go ahead and replace the 20 and then let's just round it up to 30 so our tracker won't match exactly, but when we get to the end of this, we will have a happy few extra dollars, which will be nice. So we have $30 for back to school. Tuition, this is for my boys' co-ops when they are both homeschooling next year. So we have 100, 50, we're not gonna be able to consolidate any of the 50s, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. We can get a couple 50s for that. 10, 15, 20, so let's grab a 20. So tuition, we have 50, 150, 200, 50, 70, $270 towards tuition. New phone has $100 in the bank, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95, 100. So let's go ahead and grab a couple 50s. Okay, so 100 in the bank and then another 105. So $205 towards new phone. I need $500 to get my new phone. So we're on the right track. I mean, it's only January. My small business, this is for the paper planner business that I am launching this summer. Right now we have 50, 100, that's gonna stay. 20, 40, 60, 80, 200. Oh, we're out of 50s. So the consolidation was sort of a flop towards the end of this, right? So let's put this back, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So let's take those 20s back before I confuse myself. I'm already confused. We can take these 10s and put those two 10s there and grab a 20. Let's see, so we have 100, 2, 4, 6, 8, 120, $220 for my small business. And then what do we have left? Just Christmas. We have Christmas left. Let's see if there's anything we can consolidate here, and then that is it. Okay, so to consolidate Christmas, let's take 2 of the 20s out and 2 of the 5s. That's $50, and we'll put a $50 here. 50, 70, 90, $95 towards Christmas. So that is it for the unstuffing, consolidating. This money now gets to go to the bank. Some bills will be paid and some money will be moved over to savings for those accounts where we put the placeholders in. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. I will see you again on Friday for a cash stuffing. We will be stuffing some of our savings account, some of our long-term and short-term savings. So please come back for that, and I will see you on Friday. Bye-bye.